Today, in the world of cannabis, Arizona officially begins recreational cannabis sales. Data indicates a new trend toward introducing new and stronger cannabis strains. And a bill introduced to the Missouri state legislature seeks to allow medical cannabis consumption at hotels, Airbnbs, and lodging facilities. It's Wednesday, January 27th, and this is your TRICHOMES Morning Buzz.
Broadcasting live from the TRICHOMES.com studios in Southern California. It's time for your Morning Buzz. We bring you late-breaking news that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the cannabis industry.
First up, in a report by Marijuana Moment, recreational cannabis sales have officially started in the state of Arizona, just weeks after voters approved cannabis legalization in the state during the November 2020 elections. We had an overwhelming support in November, a 3-2 margin, 60 to 40%. We got over the finish line, said Samuel Richard, executive director of the Arizona Dispensaries Association. It's great to see that our regulators responded to that overwhelming support by working as fast as they can to get the infrastructure in place to allow the 2 million Arizonans that voted yes for Prop 207 to start to enjoy the benefits of legal adult use cannabis, he said. Voters were crystal clear on their mandate at the ballot box: end the failed policy of criminalization and replace it with a legal, pragmatic regulatory framework as soon as possible, said Normal State Policies Coordinator Carly Wolf.
And next, PR Newswire reports that an increasing trend for growing cannabis companies is to introduce new cannabis strains with higher THC levels. According to a report by Trim on cannabis industry trends for 2021, at the top of our cannabis industry trends list is the race to the highest THC percentage. There's an interesting two-way communication between producers and marijuana consumers in the legal marijuana market. Breeders and growers define what cultivars they choose to grow each year, and consumers vote with their dollars to signal back to brands, distributors, and cultivators what strains they prefer. While we're learning more about how the present terpenes in a strain might play a more important role in the effect or high, consumers consider their options in a small way. Highest THC for lowest price, the Trim report adds. Growers who have access to a breeder or employee who can start a program would be wise to develop and name their own strains. When you're the only producer of a certain strain, your competitive edge improves.
And last up, in a report by Marijuana Moment, a bill filed in the Missouri state legislature would, if approved, permit hotels, Airbnbs, and other lodging facilities to allow medical cannabis consumption on their property. Entitled "A Reduction of Illegal Public Consumption by Allowing for Compassionate Access to Medical Marijuana Act," the measure would create a new license for medical marijuana lodging establishments and would require an application and a $50 fee from companies to obtain the license. Once approved, lodging companies would be required to confirm a patient's medical cannabis status, post signage on property, and create consumption areas that are at least 25 feet away from prohibited areas. Allowing cannabis consumption on property without proper licensure would result in a $1,000 fine for a first offense, with increasing penalties for repeat offenses and license revocation for a fourth offense.
That was today's Buzz. Thanks for listening. For more cannabis news and insights from industry professionals and a place to discuss these stories and others, visit TRICHOMES.com.
And be sure to catch up with all of our other cannabis industry-related podcasts like Hash It Out, The High Ground, or Careers in Cannabis wherever you get your podcasts. For TRICHOMES.com, I'm David Fortin.
And I'm Devin Liao. Have a great day.